school for at-risk boys in Delaware County are now facing charges tonight for allegedly assaulting a student. Those counselors have been fired, and Pennsylvania State Police are currently investigating. No comment from 31-year-old Christopher Medina after being arraigned on assault charges against a student at Glen Mills schools. Medina, along with 34-year-old Patrick Raquette, are both counselors at the school and are charged with violently assaulting a 17-year-old student on July 19th.
Video surveillance showed Medina slapping the victim in the head several times as the victim was seated during a group session with other students, lifting the victim up from his seat and throwing him to the ground, and punching the victim in the chest, causing him to have difficulty breathing.
State police say surveillance video also showed a separate assault in another part of the school on that same day.
Additional footage showed Raquette grabbing the victim by the face and punching the victim several times while the victim was seated on a couch in a different room after being separated from the group.
Officers used statements from the victim, surveillance video provided by the school, and several witness accounts to bring charges against Medina and Raquette.
We entrusted the care of a juvenile to these two defendants, and rather than caring for him, as witnessed by about 30 people and recorded by several cameras, they literally beat the breath out of him.
Both men face charges of aggravated and simple assault, recklessly endangering another person, and endangering the welfare of a child. Glen Mills School touts its positive impact on the lives of at-risk youth. However, the school did release this statement in reference to this case. It reads in part, quote, "We promptly self-reported this incident to the Pennsylvania State Police. This isolated incident did not uphold our stringent ethical standards and protocols. We are fully cooperating with the ongoing investigations into this incident and are taking this matter very seriously." Well, bail was set at $200,000 for both Medina and Raquette. Both men could face a maximum of 20 years behind bars and fines of $25,000 in this case.
His name is His government name Frank. I'm gonna leave it like that. Frank B. This my nigga. He was up the notorious Glen Mills in the 80s. Bad boy school. What you remember about the Mills, homie? You remember your first day?
Yeah, I remember getting off the plane, getting there. And Big Bob, you know what I mean? He was a unit counselor. I was in Glenwood's unit. That's what it was when I was down
Bob
there.
who? Because he's
Bob
notorious.
McCloskey.
Say that again?
Big Bob McCloskey.
All right.
You know what I mean? Big Marine. You know what I mean? Used to always wear shorts. I can remember being down there, I got in a couple scuffles.
With staff?
Yeah.
Was it provoked? Because they're in the news right now about what you call a scuffle. It's supposed to be a restraint.
Well, yeah, touch for attention. I hadn't been touched. I can remember, I was the only counselee. When I got there, I had Steve Walsh. He was a PM senior counselor. I was the only counselee, because all the counselors, they got, 5 or 6 counselees. But they said, Beason, you got instant juice. I can remember that. And I can remember sitting on the floor for weeks, every night. Unit fucked up bad. And I can remember Tim Fox, the unit manager, saying, Beason, you seem to be the only one confronting these issues around here. So we making you president of the unit. And if you don't want nobody else to be in the exec club or the bull club, put them on the floor right now. And I can remember I said, everybody on the exec club on the floor.
The concept of Glen Mills and shit, it's like rehabilitation through competitive sports.
Well, no, not just the sports. They had 26 on the job training vocations. You couldn't lose. It was an opportunity. If you just seized it, they even had a couple people. Ralph Jarvis, Clinton McDonald, go to the pros.
For football?
Any sport.
Okay.
Any sport. Because they had every sport they had. That's the first time I ever played lacrosse. I liked to play lacrosse because, I was stocky then.
Right.
If you come across that half with that little ball and I could hit you, that's all I wanted to do. Hit the shit out of them white boys. Boom! They be like, damn, number 14, he's hitting hard. You better pass it then.
Right. What was your dominant sport up there? What was your signature?
I'll probably say football. But I was tough. Like when I first got there, I was little. There was some big dudes down there. And I can remember motherfucker hit me so hard, man, my shoulders, I got to sit in the ice and shit. And you're like, Beast, we can't knock you down no more. Getting hard.
Right.
you know, and I was fast.
What was that team like? What was that Battling Bulls football team like? That program back then was like a powerhouse.
The only thing I didn't like about it, I mean, because we gonna win every game. We had 4 games that was out of the state of Pennsylvania. We used to get off the airplane and get to the field. I was like, Coach, these grown-ass men. He was like, shit, yeah, what you mean? They 273, 20 across the front line. Quarterback 6'2", 260. What do you mean? But we was tough, you know what I mean? And they already know. These from the East, number 6. When I get the ball, 250, 260 linebacker. If I feel like I'm gonna bump these pads, 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna run you fuck over because my squat dominant.
Right.
And if I break to the outside,
Let's talk about the powerlifting program up there since you mentioned squatting and shit, man. Explain to my viewers who you was to Glen Mills powerlifting sports program.
I was the 184 pounder. I mean, my squat was consistent at 450, 475. My bench 270. You know, my deadlift 450. If you look it up under the 1987 National Championship, you're going to see my name. Hold that record, set it in Dallas, Texas, right after the Easter holiday. Real fine moment.
What's the record?
537 kilos. That equal out to 519 pounds.
No doubt. No doubt.
That's my squat record.
What was required of a guy to be able to make a sports club like the Glen Mills powerlifting squad? Like, you gotta be.
You just gotta be cut a certain way. You know, we all like in different manner, but you just gotta be cut. You know, when you go down there, you know, everybody got their thing. And I can remember looking at this one dude and saying, Coach, this dude on Royce for real. He like, you think so, Beast? Hell yeah, I'm looking at him. He weighed 2 pounds under me, he weighed 146. I'm like, damn well, he ain't squatting no 6. Ain't no way. You know, our 181 pounder, heavyweight, doing that.
Right.
You know, warming up with that, but come on, man, that there. So, but you know, it's you know, when I was in the program, it was a program, you know, you could excel. Like I said, not only the sports program, but
listening to you co-sign concepts of the program, that's coming from an adult mind. That's coming from an adult mind. At 17, 16, 15, when you was there, how did you feel about the concepts of the program? Now, keep in mind, you might have had some preferential treatment because you was a standout athlete up there, but at the end of the day, we know what Glen Mills consists of. If you fuck up or whatever.
oh yeah, you know, you get touched for attention. You know, I got touched a couple times. You know, I went through because of my counselor. You know, he was hitting me so hard, my whole head was swollen. You know, I can remember him calling Pedro. Pedro was my A1, you know, my A1 for sure, you know. He kept it 100. He was the AM senior counselor. You know, he called him, man. You know, then when he let me call my mom and tell her, you know.
That's what has their ass in the motherfucking news right now. To hear.
We're hearing exclusively tonight from a former student of a reform school in Delaware County who says that he and other students at the school were abused by staff. Our Joe Holden joins us live from Philadelphia City Hall with the story. Joe?
Jess, a hearing is underway right now in Center City about juvenile placements. The Department of Human Services wants to hear from people. This comes as the city made the decision to suspend sending children to the Glen Mills school.
It was hard.
Visibly shaken and tearing up, this man who asked we not disclose his identity struggled remembering his time at the Glen Mills school a couple years ago. It wasn't all bad at first, he said.
It looks super perfect.
He was sent to the picturesque facility in Delaware County by the courts on a probation violation. But before long, he claims he was subjected to violence and abuse by staff.
I can tell you now, I know I wasn't the only kid that had an issue in there, you know?
He alleges he was told to keep quiet about beatings.
You just the way you casually said it, you basically said that they swore.
Man, I was coming in what they call townhouse. I was the exec, and I was on lay down, and they called townhouse, and he like, go up there and get Beason. I came through the door, and the partition was like right here when I come through the door. A couple partitions. Man, he hit me in my chest so hard, I flew through the partitions. You know, and I wasn't no cupcake. I was full meat and bone.
Right.
You know, Big Danny, he hit me one day and, whew, man, as hard as I ever been hit. You know, open hand in my chest.
Right. How did that rub you as a kid to be, you know, hit like that? Especially from a, was this was Caucasian, right?
Yeah, he was a white man.
All right. So we already got a way, the way we already feel a certain type of way about the idea of that.
I heard that the dude, Will Reed, I think he involved in the thing. He been there for a minute. You know, he was a black dude. He wasn't no joke. You know, fucked me up a couple times. On GP. You know, stay in line, shut the fuck up, that type of shit.
Yeah.
You know, kick my ass, pull me to the bathroom. That's how you do you. Correct.
What was his name?
Will Reed.
What do you remember where he was from and all of that?
I think he was somewhere around in Philadelphia. You know. But see, back then, like when I said, you know, they was just building all the houses because they owned all that land up there.
Right.
For the office, for the executive officers, you know, this, that, and the other, for their families.
Right.
You know, and then the baseball field set across.
You was there when the founding fathers of the program was there, the Farinola family.
Yeah.
What was your relationship like with the Farinolas?
I say it was pretty good. You know, because like I said, you benefit from being, you know, an athlete, a student, this, that, and the other. You know, and I was that, you know.
Right.
You know, after a minute, you know, but then like I said, you know what I mean, I went truant. But then, you know, I was Con Ed. You know.
Did you go truant off a home pass?
Yeah. They made me suck up Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, and the 4th of July. Straight.
So when they cut you loose, you was just like, fuck it. Oh, that was the punishment when they brought you back.
No. Shit. They calling in my field, they was like, nah. They called in, they like, nah. I'm hot as fish grease. You know? And I think one of the times, the second time, matter of fact, I can remember Will, you know what I mean, taking me in the bathroom, fucking me up. You know?
That's crazy.
And then I did, you know, like I said, it was like Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, and the 4th of July, straight.
Do you remember the names of any other standout athletes that was up there during your era?
Yeah.
Go ahead, run some names.
Had Daryl Henderson, he was down there. You know what I mean? Jermaine Lucas, he was from the 814 like me. You know? Molly Lyon was down there when I first got down there. My homie Robert Earl. You know, my cousin D Beast was down there. You know, they had a couple dudes. I remember this dude named Bobby Cavillion. He was out of Flint. He was left-handed. He was our quarterback. You know what I mean? He could tough.
What all cities did they have up there?
From all over. Kansas City, Dallas, Texas. I mean, Chicago, Michigan, PA. You know, in that manner.
Who was the deepest? What city?
I'd have to say Philadelphia.
Philly.
Because it sat right there, you know.
Right.
And then, you know, they was going home every week, every other week.
For a program to exist that long, are you surprised that that you know, the abuse, the assaults continued for basically 30-some years? Like, we grown men. The Mills, that was in my era. You said you was there in the 85. Guys my age was going there in like 92, 93, shit like that.
I was like, you know, 15, 16 down there. 14, 15, and 16.
When you was going, when they came to interview you in the detention center and you was on your way to the program, did you know about them being, I guess they called it hands-on? Did you know that they was assaulting motherfuckers?
Well, no, I'm not actually, but you know, when you get there, you get the rule book. You know, doing this certain levels, this, that, and the other.
Oh, they give you a book explaining the assaults?
Well, I don't necessarily look at it as an assault, but you know, it's, you know, verbal, non-verbal, friendly verbal. You know what I mean?
Oh, these are different levels of confrontation.
Right. You know.
All right. What year did you come home from Glen Mills?
Like 87, 88, somewhere around there.
When they released you, did you consider yourself a man then?
Yeah, no doubt. I went to the penitentiary on some humbug shit. Everything went left, but you know it straightened out along the way. There's no complaints.
No doubt. Did the way that Glen Mills, their approach to rehabilitation, did you think that it worked, or do you think it probably created a more so hardcore, you know, adolescent, make you tough?
Well, from my perspective right now, you know, I would honestly, truly say, you know, the staff and the directing, you know, it should have been more so in the manner that it was, you know, and not so much as open. Because like I said, you know, not only do they have a great athletic program, you know, the academic hands-on program was great.
Oh, so they wasn't just big on the sports, they was big on school as well.
We had 26 on-the-job apprentice programs, on optical lab, on dentist lab, you know what I mean, on auto mechanic lab, auto painting lab, you know what I mean, culinary department. Can't lose.
I will say this, I was always told about the high level of, I don't know, opulence that you will see at Glen Mills. I heard they had like some of the best food. I heard they got some of the most world-class training facilities and shit like that.
A1 guaranteed.
Yeah, everything with the, if you play sports, they give you sneakers, like it's college.
I feel like it's a place in their own, cause you know, true people didn't die. You know, I was down there, a van tipped over and 7 died. You know,
A van full of students tipped over when you was there.
times, you know,
So how did that happen? A accident?
They were going to a meet, both times, and I think you know the
Weightlifting or wrestling?
I think it was the track team and the lacrosse team. You know, and I think in that manner, it's a certain respect. They got their own graveyard.
I heard about that. I heard about that.
You know, they got Letterman and Tradesman Hall. And if you smart and you can do this here, they paying the way. All the way. You know what I mean? And then you know they hooked in over here. You can't lose. Like I said, I know a few people, you know, that have grown out of the program. And, but no, like I said, I caught a bad break. You know?
Right. But some people, you feel that some people it actually worked out in life
Yeah, all the way around.
because of the time spent at Glen Mills.
You know, I feel like, you know, right now where I'm at, like, you know, it's a certain discipline and manner you have to go about, you know, creating and growing with the young mind. You know, and there's a lot of young men up there. And you know, and they need to be obedient and stern, you know, it's a manner of being steadfast.
No doubt. All right. It's been great. I appreciate your time, my nigga.
Yep,
You're going to see this as soon as it hit YouTube.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Yup.
I'm a motherfucking G. Yeah, I'm talking murder, but it's me. I'm really living everything you see. That's what you say. They love to make a lie out of me. To the day that I expire, I'm a G. I'm a motherfucking G. They would love to make a lie out of Razor. Shoot and catch him out dark with the